On Halloween night, teenage boys would always tip them over.
They wouldn't
So I heard about.
but that was one of the pranks.
Did you ever do that, Dad?
Oh,
He was a good boy.
I was of the younger sort. We were kind of fixed the next day in school for when you had to go potty. They pulled with horses, and the blades went back and forth like that and cut the hay. And then this thing here, they would pull with horses also, and it's made so that you get it goes along and it's full of hay, and they pull the lever and dump it in a pile. And then they have to fork it into a wagon. Now this thing here is an older blade. My father might have seen one of these working, but I never did. They were a little more sophisticated. It made a square bale of hay, about the size of that thing. It's full of hay for the cows. And, let's see, this is probably where you milk the cows. But you turn the handle here, wind it up, and it would blow. You would have coal here, burning hot, and the air makes it red hot. And when the iron is red hot, then you can take and hit it, make it into the shapes you want. This is called a double tree. Double because it's for two horses. This is called a whipple tree. You put around the horse's neck and the horse pulls. It has leather straps from here, and that's how the horse pulls. This is a covered wagon, only it doesn't have the cover on it. And this is a corn planter. It had a long beam here this size. They called that the tongue. And you would hook horses to it and plant corn. Then another kind of plow you pull with horses. And that's a cultivator you pull with horses.
Everything's pulled with horses.
Right on. He has to watch everything, and he also has to holler at the horses to keep them going.
Yeah.
If he says gee, that means the horse has to go to the right. If he says haw, that means the horse has to go to the left.
Huh?
My dad he would constantly be saying whoop, whoop, haw, gee, whoop, whoop. My dad would always. But then he got a Ford tractor and he says they'll never use, and the horses, my brother and I, we took them over to some neighbor's pasture and left them there, and that's the last I ever saw those horses. The hay mow. And you pull that down with a rope and hook it onto a bunch of hay. And there's a track up there, you can see the rail. Oh, there's the rope, yeah. And that thing there is on this iron rail. One guy at the other end of the barn with the horses pulling, and one guy here watching it. When the hay gets to where he wants to drop it, he jerks on the rope and it drops. Grandma and I used to put up bales of hay that way.
Can you say what you feel about this place?
Yes, it makes me feel really happy to see a place like this that is kind of showing, well, people lived a long time ago. The kinds of houses and the kinds of buildings that they had, and even an outhouse.
Uh-oh.
You know what an outhouse is?
No.
It's a bathroom that's outhouse. It's outside.